In 2005, the Federal Highway Administration issued a record of decision that approved the reconstruction of 6.7 miles of the I-94 freeway in the city of Detroit from east of the I-94, I-96 interchange to east of Conner Avenue, along M10 from Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to Seward Avenue, and along I-75 from Warren Avenue to Custer Street, which is 1 block north of East Grand Boulevard. In addition to rebuilding the freeway, the 2005 Record of Decision approved constructing one additional through lane in each direction along I-94, replacing more than 60 bridges within the project limits, modernizing the interchange at the Lodge Freeway by eliminating left lane exit and entrance ramps and replacing them with standard right lane movements, and adding continuous service drives from Conner Avenue to Trumbull Avenue. In 2017, MDOT announced plans to prepare a supplemental environmental impact statement to study alternatives to the approved design in the 2005 Record of Decision. The goal was to propose project modifications that would increase neighborhood connectivity and mobility and decrease the impacts to local properties, businesses, recreation areas, and historic resources. After participating in more than 50 meetings with the community, the City of Detroit, and the project's local and government advisory committees, MDOT received feedback which helped identify potential design modifications. All the proposed modifications are detailed in the draft SEIS document, including interchange improvements. The I-94 interchanges within the project limits will be reconstructed as part of the project. To improve safety and operations, the M10, Gratiot Avenue, and Conner Avenue interchanges will be reconfigured as part of the proposed improvements. To modernize the M10 interchange, MDOT is proposing to place the M10 freeway below the I-94 freeway to allow new street-level bridges over M10 at Holden Avenue and Merrick Street. Complete street and pedestrian bridges. In the proposed modification, a complete streets bridge design was developed which would replace the standard pedestrian bridges. Standard pedestrian bridges typically include longer access ramps and more property impacts. Complete streets bridges are designed and operated at street level to enable safe access for all users. The design would narrow travel lanes to promote slower speeds and include sidewalks and accommodations for bike users. Community connector bridges. The bridges at Cass Avenue, 2nd Avenue, and Conner Avenue would be replaced with community connector bridges. These new structures would feature wider sidewalks, buffered bike lanes, and landscaping with ornamental fencing and street lighting. They would improve local street connections and mobility for all users. Two-way service drives and local street connectors. MDOT is proposing to use the existing local roadway network and convert the existing one-way service drives to two-way at certain locations to improve local circulation and mobility. This design also minimizes property impacts and displacements because it avoids unnecessary new connections that can be handled by the local roadway network. Retained and new bridge connections. The proposed modifications retain bridges that were identified to be removed as part of the 2005 Record of Decision, including John R. Street, Beaubien Street, and Lucky Place Moran Street over I-94, Ferry Street over I-75, and Selden Street over M10. In addition, the modifications propose new bridge connections at Four Tops Calumet Street over M10, Harbor Avenue over I-75, and Hastings Street and the Iron Bell Trail over I-94. Safety improvements. The outdated design and physical condition of I-94 contribute to increased crash rates. To improve operations and safety, both the design approved in the 2005 Record of Decision and the proposed modifications in the DSEIS include one additional freeway lane and widened shoulders in each direction. Cultural resources. Several historic properties were impacted by the 2005 design. MDOT is required to avoid, minimize, or mitigate any adverse effects to certain National Register listed historic properties. If avoidance is not possible, Ways to minimize harm are considered. MDOT has modified the design to avoid and minimize impacts to some historic properties, such as the Samuel T. Gilbert Terminal. The department has purchased the United Sound Systems recording studios to preserve its history without sacrificing safety on I-94. If you have any questions, please ask a member of the I-94 project team for more information, or visit the project website at i94detroit.org.